Welcome to the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. I'm Obi-Wan with Hector V, and we're continuing to celebrate our 5 years on our podcast. And wow, we are almost toward the end of the year, and we're getting set for the road to Survivor Series War Games. Yeah, I love it, love it, love it, love it. That's right. I got you. I saw you. I saw you do that, Hector. I saw you.
They didn't.
Oh, yes, they did. I saw you. But anyways, I means you and you mean everybody else. All right, fair enough. Whatever that means, right? But hey, you can visit our website, hhwshow.com, and definitely we're going to get that website up to date momentarily because, yeah, we've been slacking for the last couple of weeks, but our show keeps on going live and everything else, and plenty to talk about. And like I said before at the start of the show, we're getting ready for Survivor Series. I mean, everything's now starting to fall in place. We got 3 official matches we're going to talk about. And of course, next Wednesday, that's right, next Wednesday, not Thursday, because it's Thanksgiving, we are going to give our prediction as we get set next Saturday for the event, the Survivor Series War Games. So let's get started here. And Hector, plenty of news, but we're going to start off with Brad Baylor. Now, everyone's like expecting, oh my God, I thought you said Survivor Series. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, this guy's a survivor. And I'm going to tell you now, Brad Baylor, I've seen this guy wrestle. And this guy's phenomenal. This guy's put into work. I see him as like the next Randy Orton / Ric Flair type guy. I mean, this guy's got charisma. He got the moves. He got the ladies. He got everything. He got the package. And Mr. Brad Baylor himself is now the WWE prospect. And I am so proud of him. So congratulations, Brad Baylor. I missed the opportunity to get to the show. However, talk to him one-on-one, especially in the banquet when they did the Hall of Fame ceremony for Northeast Wrestling. I got to talk to him for a little bit. Great dude, man. Great personality. You get to know him, you'll be like, oh, man, he's down to earth. So congratulations to him. But I can't say the same with Roman Reigns, man. I mean, this is going on social media, and it's like, what's that favorite comment? They're like, they post a picture and they say wrong answer only. Okay. I don't know what to say about this picture, man. I mean, I have plenty, but I'm gonna keep it PG right now.
He may be looking at it saying, "Oh, it is Tiffy time." Okay, we're gonna leave that alone.
That or he constipated, man.
You're trying to Google it. How to ease up the constipation.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It's just hilarious because I was thinking one thing, but now we could cover all kinds of angles. What could this possibly be, right? Anyways, let's go ahead. No. We ain't talking about that. I thought I had an updated picture, but we'll go ahead and steer away from that one. So Roman Reigns ends up trying to do the right thing, right? He's calling Paul Heyman, the wise man, and the wise man's phone is let's put it as he changed his number. And the thing is, I was reading articles on these wrestling websites, right? And it was like, they were saying the wrong thing. Like, I guess no one's ever had that type of message before. Doo-doo-doo. I'm sorry, the number you have dialed. You know what I mean? Like I don't think people experience that. The dude changed his number. It's disconnected. It's not in service.
Right.
Okay. What does that mean? They said his phone call failed. No, it didn't fail. It didn't fail at all. It just didn't connect. You gotta say it right. Okay. So you could tell the new era compared to us old folks. We know what that means. He changed his number. So what does that tell you?
like I said before, he burned the bridge down. You know, it's hard to reconstruct the bridge that you burnt down. You know, with people, especially Paul Heyman. This is somebody that you look to as your wise counsel, and you just took advantage of him. I mean, we know Solo took it to a whole different level as far as taking advantage of him, but Roman took it a whole different level. I mean, could it be somewhat Paul Heyman's fault, you know, or
No, I
is it
don't think so.
Frank's?
I mean, what possibly could you say it's Paul Heyman's fault where he was doing his best to help Roman Reigns? Okay, whatever the deal was that
Did he
Roman
feed
Reigns
him?
had to step away. Okay, because you saw that hug and everything else after WrestleMania, right? And then Paul Heyman, like he had to deal with the changes of the bloodline. You know what I mean? And they used Roman Reigns' name in vain. And then you got to say to yourself, dude, you've been in this situation. Well, I was supposed to be the wise man, but yet you're not looking after me.
Yeah, I just
You know
feel
what I
like
mean?
it's just we seen a whole different Roman Reigns when he got with Paul Heyman, and I don't know if it maybe got to his head a little too much. His ego just was fed a little bit too much, and he became more than what he thought he could be because of Paul Heyman. So
Mm,
that's why I just put a little bit on Paul Heyman, but not all of it. It's all a personal choice of what you do with yourself. You know,
right.
and Paul Heyman is a great resource. He was a great resource as far as being the wise man. It's just
Yeah, but going back to the topic, Paul Heyman changing his number, that to me that's a clear indicator that he want no business no more with the bloodline.
yeah,
My the tribal chief did not have my back. The
right,
new era is kicking in, and he want no part of it. And before he left, he did tell Solo, "You're not my tribal chief,"
right.
right?
No,
And
you're
that
right
was it.
because he even at one point he even tried to get CM Punk to get him out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And even that didn't happen.
Right,
So I got a feeling that if Paul Heyman wants to return, he's not going to be alone. There's got to be another superstar coming in, but it not being now in no one's favor. Now, a lot of people think that, oh, well, Paul Heyman's going to come with the fifth guy. I don't think that's going to happen.
right.
If anything, I think the storyline is driven for Seth Rollins eating his words for what he had said to Sami Zayn and to Solo Sikoa that he's going to come back. He said that he will never in his life join with Roman Reigns. Yet it's gonna happen on SmackDown. It's going to happen that Seth Rollins will join forces with Roman Reigns, and we're gonna have the Bloodline slash Shield together against Bloodline 2.0.
Oh yeah, and I got to give a big shout out to Bronson Reed for all that because why else would he attack? Why would he else? Why would he involve himself with this and align himself with the bloodline if he wasn't trying to get SF Rollins here?
If I'm not mistaken, and no, never mind, forget it. I thought it was really family, but he's
No,
Australian,
he's
right?
Australian, and but
Right.
he has a small little past with the Samoan werewolf. He has a small little past with him. They fought each other before.
Gotcha. Well, I hope that they're able to put him in check because he's a loose cannon and anything could go bad. And if they're and if you piss him off, he might turn his back on the actual family himself, the bloodline 2.0, and start doing what they call it. He's like the wannabe earthquake, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think he's better.
Yeah.
I would call him the modern day Bam Bam Bigelow.
Gotcha. All right. Hey, so another thing that got me crazy was the Miz always playing shady. He's playing devil's advocate.
He's good at it. He knows how to do it. He's played the game for a long time, and he knows how to do it.
Mm-mm.
That's how he gets his ways, and he gets what he wants, and that's how he becomes a two-time Grand Slam champion.
Damn. Well said. Well said. It's true.
He manipulated his way to becoming world champion, right? Before that blew up in his face
Yeah.
with Bobby Lashley.
I'm just curious how far is he willing to go? Because the final testament, they ain't playing around.
Oh, he's playing with fire. I mean, this is a fire that you don't want to play with on both ends, with the
Hmm.
YS6 and the Final Testament. But if he's playing the YS6, he's doing a heck of a job.
But I think he's playing on both because he has to protect himself.
Yeah,
Because if not, this his whole family's gonna be casualties, and he don't want that.
no, you don't.
No, absolutely not. Let's talk about the undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes, as he's getting set to at least go face to face with Kevin Owens.
You know, this all blew up in Cody's face. I think. I think he just needs to leave this alone. But he needs something, right, to work with at this point.
Well,
And
we know he's not going to be part of Roman Reigns and his crew,
no,
so
no, we definitely
yeah.
know that for a fact. But he's dealing with a loose cannon, and Kevin Owens is someone you don't really want to mess with when he's not pretty stable in the mind. It's this could hurt Cody, not in the sense of losing his title, but just could hurt him in the long run. Thinking that you think you know Kevin Owens, but you really don't. I mean, Kevin has been a snake his whole time.
Hey,
He's
and there's only one person that knows him very well, and that is Sami Zayn.
and even then even Sammy's gotten stabbed in the back plenty of times.
Plenty of times, absolutely.
I mean, he made
So,
Chris Jericho make his own list. Jer- Jericho was part of his own list because of that.
crazy how that is. Crazy.
Yeah.
Um, then we got Ludwig. Now there's something about Ludwig here because I see that his status is getting elevated. And what I'm saying about that is I made a prediction a few weeks ago that it hasn't like been touched yet, but I got a feeling that Ludwig it might separate himself from Gunther.
I think that's what Gunther's trying to tell him, trying to get at. You could do this on your own. You don't need to be my mouthpiece. You don't need to be my voice. I can do this by myself. You need to go find yourself. You know, and you got to fall on hard times to figure out where you are and who you are in this business. You just can't keep flying on the coattails of someone you've been doing it with since NXT. You got to be able to go
Right.
out there and do your own thing. And so, you don't know until you try. I mean, you see with Vinci, it didn't work out. He tried to come back as a whole rebrand, and that didn't work out. But with Kaiser, I think it would make, he can do something with himself. He just got to get out there. But trying to pick a fight with Braun Breaker is not the right thing to do. Not at this
Mm, mm. Well, hey, once you commit, you can't go back. So it is what it is. Another one is the United States champion, LA Knight,
point.
who his celebration was cut short. And he did win his match, but then somebody came, and that is Shinsuke Nakamura. Big
That's dark.
surprise for me there.
Yeah, that's the darker side of Nakamura that we've seen now. So yeah, is this the Star Wars version of him, the Sith or something like that? I don't know because that's what it looks
I'm
like.
all with Shinsuke. I look, I'm not a big fan of people holding on the United States champion for a long time because I feel like that should like go somewhere else, right? And I feel like with LA Knight, it's gone backwards because he was at one point chasing for the World Heavyweight Championship. That didn't go through. And then all of a sudden now he beat Logan Paul for it. I mean, all right. We got what we wanted. But I think this yeah and everything else is a little bit too much for me. I like Shinsuke Nakamura. It should get a better version of LA Knight because it's kind of stale right now. And
Yeah,
so I'm liking how this could go somewhere, right? And hopefully this is a locked match for Survivor Series. I know it's a little bit quick, but that's okay. I mean, he could be stressed out like, yo, you want this? Let's go to Survivor. Let's handle our business. Or
It
it
it,
could
al-
be, yeah, go ahead.
it almost reminds me a little bit when Stone Cold took on the Undertaker when he was with that group, when he had that group, when they hung him on the cross and everything like that. Because we know
Mhm.
how Stone Cold is, but he had to change things up when he goes up against the Undertaker, that was part of the Ministry of Darkness. And
Right.
that's what it kind of looks like with Shinsuke Nakamura, bringing a whole darker side that we've never seen. LA Knight cannot bring that comedy that he's brought week in, week out to the show
No.
here. He's got to really dig deep here and show us, are you a true United States champion? Because you're not playing around with cartoon characters here like you did with like Algo de Fantasma and Andrade and Carmelo. This is
Is
this
he
is big.
ready to go to
Right,
prime time? You know what I
right,
mean?
exactly.
So yeah, absolutely. Can you put yourself in a situation where you can main event a show?
Yeah.
That's what
Mhm.
we're aiming for. So I'm believe me, I'm agreeing with you 100%. What else can we talk about here? Ah, it's the tournament. You know what? I gotta post this tournament up here, and the Women's United States Championship tournament started with the first match: Bailey, Candice LeRae, and BFAB, and Bailey came out victorious without using her signature move. She made it through, and I
Yeah.
got respect to BFAB because for me, that's like the only match I've seen her wrestle like cleared it on her own with no support, and I enjoyed watching her. I mean, she could be a future star and continue a rivalry with Bailey for all I care. But Candice LeRae, I mean, come on. I think she's better off as a manager than a wrestler, but that's my opinion. But if you look at all these superstars right now, the next match, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, and Blair Davenport, a triple threat match. On the other side, we have Jay Cargill, Minchin, and Piper Niven. And then Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and Electra Lopez. First and foremost, let me ask you this. Who is your final four?
Okay, we obviously know Bailey's in there. I think Chelsea Green is going to come out at the bottom part of that bracket there. Tiffany Stratton, I think, is coming out at the lower right hand corner. Well, that's lower right for me. And the top one, that one's kind of tough, but I think maybe Meechin will win that one.
All right. Huh. I think that well, yeah, there's just a lot of probabilities here. And what I don't like is Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill in it. And they always find a way to separate them two and these weird matches in there. This ain't the first time that they both participated in the same tournament.
Yes.
And I'm like, why? Why would you? There's more female superstars. Why are we including two that are already champions?
I don't like it. I don't like it a lot. I don't like it not one bit. They need to stay away from these tournaments. Obviously, they're not going to be. They're not going to win it. So why even put them in there?
You said Chelsea Green. What if Bianca Belair does advance?
I don't see her having that one on
To
one match with
see
Bailey.
Bailey versus Bianca Belair, a one-on-one match, because they're flirting with a possibility of them going at it.
Or there's just going to be some kind of interference, and Bailey's going to beat her and not beat her with a signature move. I mean, we
Mhm.
already seen Bailey win without the signature move. She's not going to do that to Belair because if Belair was to advance, then you got Chelsea Green that's going to interfere somehow to screw Belair over. That's why I just think it'd be best that Chelsea sneaks her way into that second round so Bailey can get a clean signature win over somebody. She's not doing it against Belair.
Okay. All right. Um, but then on the other side, you got Jade Cargill. Like, is there more additional interferences? I mean, after a while, that interferences get pretty old.
Oh yeah, I just don't. I still don't think she's championship material. I mean, she's two-time tag team champion. That's only because Belair is carrying it. Cargill to me is not a superstar that's ready for prime time. She's not. I mean, she still to me looks stale. She doesn't look like she knows what she's doing. She's just relying on her strength, her muscles. She's pretty much like the Hulk in there. You know that she's just using brute strength. She's not doing any kind of wrestling techniques or anything to make these matches look like they're worth watching. Meacham, at least she brings excitement to the ring. She brings, you know, something that we are enjoying watching, whether she wins or loses.
Well,
You
if
know,
that's the case, then I think Tiffany Stratton and Bailey might be the only two facing each other in the finals, with Bailey winning the United States Championship.
you're right. And remember I told you I think last week, what if that wild card is that Tiffany winds up cashing in on her? That it's weird because you give Bailey the opportunity to become the first ever women's United States champion, and then it just short lived by Tiffany Stratton screwing her over by hitting her with a briefcase and cashing in on her. You know, I don't think that would be fair, but that briefcase is still there, and
Right.
anything is possible. Anything is possible. We've never seen it happen before. Why not make history and then give Bailey the opportunity to go after that title for a second time and become a queen?
Tiffany Stratton to me seemed like she's gonna wait for WrestleMania to cash in.
Right. And
I
yeah,
think we're waiting for that moment, and sadly to say, if she hasn't cashed it in by now, then it's got to be WrestleMania.
no, you're absolutely right because the other scenario is that she gets so close to beating Bailey, and then Nia Jax comes in interfere, thinking that she's trying to help, and she screws Tiffany over.
Oh,
She screws Tiffany over, and Bailey cashes in and wins, and escapes with that title. Because remember, Bailey lost her title to Nia Jax. Why would Nia Jax not try to screw her over a second time? But then it backfires this time around.
absolutely. I
So
get you. It makes a lot of sense. I like that. Man, you doing your homework. Yeah. I like it. I'm proud of you. I'm
thank you.
proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's recap on the official matches already for the War Games, and we'll start off with most likely, most definitely, the main event, and it's La Familia going against each other. We got the Bloodline of the old, the Bloodline 2.0. Right now, it's 5-on-4. We're already guessing who the fifth member is. I think it's pretty obvious that Seth
Mhm.
Rollins is going to join Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Sami Zayn 5-on-5 versus Solo Sikoa and his crew. This is going to be very entertaining. And this is going to be in Canada, Vancouver, Canada. How about that?
Yeah. You know who's going to get the big pop over there? Good old Sami Zayn.
Oh, yeah. And in that, I'm telling you right now, I know it's too early to make our predictions, but Roman Reigns and that crew has got to win.
Yeah. I mean, he's taking a lot of hits, he's taking a lot of falls, and it seems like they are kind of flipping it back and forward a little bit. So, yeah, it's possible.
All right. And then we have one title being defended right now, and it's the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus Damian Priest.
Yeah, we're seeing a whole different side of Damien. He's more aggressive by himself. I mean, and for him to have the upper hand on Gunther right now, could that be the turning point come next week when we make our prediction?
There's a lot of lows for Gunther, and when you have a lot of lows, they turn out to win at the end.
Yeah, it could be.
So is this a build up? Is this a start that we get to see the other side of Gunther? I'm interested to see which direction he goes with this.
Yeah,
But you're right about Damian Priest. I mean, he's getting to be more out there. He's
yeah,
more aggressive. You're absolutely right. I'm loving how the directions both of these superstars are going. But at the same time, who outside is going to interfere with this match? And
yeah,
it's
exactly.
always something. Always.
Mm.
Always. And then the women's Survivor Series, I mean, I think this one just fell in place. I'm just like, for Io Sky to be involved there is like, really? Io Sky? She was with the Kabuki Warriors. What happened? What happened? Why wasn't the entire Kabuki Warriors in this?
Yeah, again, you're giving too much highlight to the tag team champions. They got to be part of something. I don't agree with it. I really
Mhm.
don't. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of the tag team champions right now. I'm really not. Not the way things are going. You're putting too much hype on them right now.
Yeah, and then like at the end, the exclamation mark is with Rhea Ripley being there, makes a return, and I guess this is the package that we're gonna deal with right now. 5-on-5, and
Right.
you're talking about two heavyweight champions, really, two world champions on one team.
Yeah.
When not so long ago they were going for the crown jewel championship,
Exactly.
and
How do
it's
you?
like how you go from a lot of hate to being partners now.
Yeah. Coexisting.
It's too much. That's my opinion.
Yeah. There goes all the belts, all the titles right there for the women's side in one match, and not one being defended.
None.
It's,
And I can't wait for a certain superstar. To be honest with you, this is where the part where I'm like, bring back Charlotte Flair.
or Becky Lynch.
I didn't think I was gonna say that, but it's
Eh,
like, yo,
it's
defend your title, yo.
yeah.
Like,
It's we get more of
and
a power.
where's the rest of the superstars that made it to the roster?
They're in the back watching
Where
this.
where they go?
They're watching. They're sitting back watching.
Ah,
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't get it.
Damage
But
control, Kabuki Warriors. They're not even part of this. It's like damage
what?
control is all watered down now without Bailey. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they had Dakota Kai, where at one moment she's okay, the next moment she can't win a match, and then she's hurt, and yeah, like there's no stability. And again, there's really not that much stability in the women's division. And listen, they got plenty. They got plenty. And to be honest with you, I like the United States Women's Championship, but I would have preferred the Intercontinental Championship before the US title. Why? Because these superstars, the female superstars, all from different generations, or I should say different ethnicity, excuse me. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm losing it. Right? Or different nationalities, and it was best fitted for Intercontinental Championship.
I still feel like they're gonna come out with it. I think Triple H is not done yet.
Because the United States title is in SmackDown only, and the tournament is only in SmackDown, it's got to be Intercontinental Championship on Raw, or are they saving it for Netflix?
They could be saving it for Netflix, and finding that right fit to put that belt around that right woman to
Hmm.
become the inaugural champion. It's very important because we've seen what the Intercontinental title has done for us in the business. It's not a mid to me, the Intercontinental title, especially the one I have back here, it has not been a mid card. It's been a lot of main events that title
Right.
has been shown. Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man, people like that who's held those titles that from our generation, because we know it's been generations before us that we don't really know about, but we hear the
Only
history about
because Hulk Hogan held that belt for so long.
it.
That's
Right.
why that Intercontinental Championship was prestigious.
Right. And but even
Right.
even even with the newer generations, like, well, not the newer generation, but the next generation with the Jerichos and the Miz's, these guys, made that continue with that prestige of that title, you
Right.
know, and Edge, or and other countless superstars. It was always a good time seeing that title change hands over and over and over, because it meant something to the business. Because
Right.
you're right, the heavyweight title has always been locked down by somebody. Hulk Hogan, Roman Reigns, John Cena. Somebody's always held it for a long time to where we needed something, and that title
Absolutely.
that title did it right there. So
Well, I tell you what, we're going to talk about all these titles that hopefully on the men's side of the house are being defended. You still got the Intercontinental Championship, possible triple threat match, the United States Championship between LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura. And there's other matches that could pretty much fill in the card for the Survivor Series War Games. We have our prediction show next Wednesday. So tune in to our YouTube channel, tune in to our Facebook, and of course, your favorite podcast platform, your audio platform, which is Spotify, Google, or Amazon, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast platform. We're almost to the end of our show, and of course, there's the takeaway.
Right.
And I'm lead you with this because we started with the show with Roman Reigns looking funny, right?
Right.
But what's not funny is the real deal. Like, can anyone bounce back from what it was to being the same? Roman Reigns was the tribal chief of the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bouncing back from adversity is deeply personal journey. And whether someone can be the same afterwards depends on the situation and how you define the same.
Right.
Adversity often changes people in significant ways, shaping their perspectives, the values, and priorities. While someone may regain stability or find a new normal, the experience of overcoming challenges often leaves them with a deeper understanding of themselves and others. They might not be the same in every sense, but they can emerge stronger, more resilient, or more self aware. In a sense, it's less about returning to the exact person that they were and more about adapting and finding growth in the face of hardship. Sometimes that transformation can be a powerful way to thrive after setbacks. And I hope that Roman Reigns could tune in to my takeaway. Because after all, man, you're right. Nothing's ever the same when you come back.
No,
But can you adapt?
you have to, because times have changed, and situations change, people change, and I think the first step in learning from adversity is embracing it. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about that involves acceptance and then the mindset of the shifting of the mindset there. You know what I'm saying? The acceptance part about it is, acknowledging the reality of your struggles without denial. And I think, in my opinion, that Roman Reigns is still in denial. He's acknowledging the part that the struggle's there, you know what I'm saying? But he's still in denial. He still can't seem to apologize, So his mindset's got to shift now. He don't have the wise man anymore. So, viewing the challenges that are in front of him as an opportunity for growth rather than seeing it as an obstacle is something he's going to have to realize, you know, and it's coming at a very high price right now for him. So, yeah, you're right. Adversity is something that we can, really dig deep into a whole lot with, you know what I'm saying? It helps build resilience. Okay. We're talking about mental toughness, like you say, adaptability, okay, perseverance. Okay. And it's also learning patience and persistence. I know I deal with, not having a lot of patience in my life, but when you're dealing with adversity, it requires patience and persistence. That's two P words that's very important to understand. And, and I think just when it comes down to it, developing that growth mindset, it's a very important, very essential for turning adversity into success. And I only speak about these things because I know I've dealt with it in my life, you know what I'm saying? And we all deal with it at some point in our lives. At some level, we deal with this kind of stuff. But when we view our failures as opportunity to learn and improve, always seeking a new way. And that's what Roman Reigns needs to do. He has to seek a new way of doing it because what worked before is not going to work now.
I'm glad we're mentioning that because there's something more than just Roman Reigns. And
Hmm.
Roman Reigns is telling a story.
Right.
But what if the story is reflection to his real life? Because Roman
Right.
Reigns is an excellent example of someone who has bounced back stronger after facing significant challenges.
Right.
His battle with leukemia, first in
Right.
2008, and then it recurred again in 2018,
Right.
could have derailed his career and his personal life, right? And
Yes.
instead, he not only overcame the illness, but returned to WWE as a more compelling and layered performer.
Right.
His transition into the tribal chief, right, showcased him that he didn't just return as his old self, but a redefined himself. And so that's the key word, redefine. Can you redefine yourself and get back to the top?
Right.
Roman Reigns does not need to be the tribal chief. We already recognized him as the tribal chief. The fans, the WWE fans, is chanting OTC, OTC. And
Yeah.
that proves that bouncing back doesn't mean being the same as before. It only means growing, adapting, and reaching new heights. Thank you, everyone, for joining in to the HHW Show podcast. It's Hector, the philosopher, and myself, Obi-Wan, the host. Thank you. Take care. Next Wednesday, check out our prediction show. Take care, everyone.
Peace.